Hello guys, Rookie here and welcome back to a new video. Today we are back playing Madoka Magica Magia Exedra, and we are here to discuss about Ultimate Madoka, the new release 5-star card. So yeah, about the goddess, what you can say about my goddess? She's a light attacker, which obviously means that she's a mid DPS, and she's a little bit different than the usual attacker. So let's see what her kit actually is composed of, shall we? When it actually loads. Okay. Basic is nothing special, just a normal attack. Already a skill is what she starts to differentiate compared to other attackers, because she can do 270% of damage to a single enemy and also increase all allies attack by 15%. In other words, she's not a fully only DPS, she actually acts as an hybrid, a sort of a damage dealer and also a buffer. So yeah, to be fair, other buffers also can deal quite a bit of damage, such as Mami and especially Tsuruno, but she fully actually is the first hybrid of its kind. So yeah, the interesting thing that she actually has a magic system which actually it enables to enhance her skill. Once you have 5 magic, she's gonna do more damage, 219% of damage, and also 200 damage to enemies in proximity. In other words, it was like an enhanced skill on Castarello for the station card. So yeah, basically she's gonna do blast damage when she enhances her skill. Also increases her attack by 15, but also increases her own damage by 30%, and also gains more MP by it. But the biggest thing about this enhanced skill is that when she does use it, she's not gonna consume a single skill point, which could be crucial, especially in PvP, since without a play you cannot decide when to use the skill points. So getting SP, I don't think she's gonna gain. I feel like yeah, actually that has to be tested. I don't know if she actually gains her SP back if she does use her enhanced skill, or simply doesn't use SP at all but doesn't gain one as well. So yeah, that has to be seen. Another interesting thing is that she can actually also heal on damage dealt by enemy, which is an important thing. Which means when you actually do damage to the enemies. So not simply attacking is not gonna be enough, especially if they have the barrier. If they have the barrier, you're not gonna break the barrier, like the defensive barrier of Asana or Kirika, and you aren't strong enough to deal damage, this effect will not trigger. So basically, when you deal damage or recover HP, it grants the magic. The magic that actually enables her enhanced skill, and also restores HP to your team by 6% of user attack, which is not bad at all. Now, attack scaling is usually lower than HP scaling, but still, having a extra bit of healing could be useful, especially if paired with Pluvia Madoka, because Pluvia Madoka can also heal the team when you break the enemies. 5% plus a certain amount for every break, for every time you actually break someone else's weakness bar. So yeah. Also, she increases attack by 5% when she receives healing, and critical rate also by 5, which is really the important thing, because attack 5% is alright, but nothing too crazy. But the fact that she can also increase her own critical rate means that she actually is pretty self-sustainable. So yeah, and especially paired with Tsuruno and Sana, she's gonna crit a lot. Also, when herself or someone does a critical hit, she advances forward by 5%, which is not a lot, but again, still a nice still a nice action forward. Still, she's gonna be able to run to act faster, which is not bad at all. Excluding obviously the critical hits from follow-up attacks or counter attacks. Meaning, if your Omura or if your Ren does a critical hit while doing a follow-up attack, Madokami won't be able to speed up their turns. So yeah. Anything less remaining on the special attack, which is really good. 500% damage to a single enemy, only single enemy, but 500% damage, which is more than Nomura 420. It isn't blast, but she does increase her own critical damage by 40%, which is a lot. And she also has the weird kind of thing that Toric also does, that the fewer the enemies are present, the more damage it's gonna do to all enemies. Count increases with fewer enemies but 4 times, which means if 20 for which means if there is only one enemy left, you're actually gonna do 580% of damage. Because they're gonna receive additional damage for every little enemy remaining on the field, so yeah, overall not bad at all. Support ability, I mean, there's slightly HP, which isn't bad, but enemy break increases speed and attack by 20 actually is not bad at all, but I don't know how much useful could be. Like, it isn't the best support skill, like it isn't Mami skill, support skill, which is absolutely ridiculous, but it's not bad at all. Definitely better than Nomura, the stats, so yeah. So how good she actually is the thing, guys. She's the best DPS in the game, better than Nomura for certain. I mean, you could argue that Nomura might be more useful with her follow-up attacks, which also scale pretty well also with a card like Ren, which also does follow-up attacks, so yeah, there is that. But, I mean, 500% damage to a single enemy is a lot, especially when you counter the fact that with a few enemies she's gonna do even more damage, plus the 40% crit damage, the 50% attack bonus, which is not bad, like, especially if you have a lot of buffer yourself, such as if you have a Tsuruno, if you have a Mami, like, they're gonna work, where is Mami? They're gonna work perfectly with her, because Mami already does increased damage dealt and attack percent on her own, like 17%, which 70% or even more. What's the maximum? Nope. Like, at 10% to 20% Mami, 15% Madoka, and how much Tsuruno does give? Where is Tsuruno? Plus Tsuruno crit damage, 20% attack. Ooh, guys, that could be awesome using both Mami, Tsuruno, and Madoka on the same team. Even though it might be a little bit redundant, because attack percentage is good, but not infinitely good. Like, always stacking up attack isn't gonna be useful in the long term. You also want some either critical damage or actually damage dealt, which is really the game changer, because actually it's gonna impact more to the final damage you do after you counter attack. So yeah, but really it's gonna scale particularly well with these two buffers, so yeah. I mean, she could also work with some 4-star option like Rika, because she increases everyone's speed, considering that she also has a bunch of action forward as well. Might be useful, especially with the MP regen. Oh yeah, Mami also has a lot of MP regen, so much actually might be useful to that. So yeah, I feel like she could work potentially with any team because of how can I say, how much of a not really complex card, but fully on card. How much of a stainless character she actually is, like sure, maybe Tsuruno she could work well with them, but actually she doesn't really need them that much, considering that she has self buffs that applies some to her and some to the whole team. I can see her work with Ren, because Ren does lower the enemy's defenses by a lot, which is gonna even exponentially increase the damage she's gonna do to the enemies. Like this, like it could be ridiculous, like with Ren. Tsuruno could work, I mean, defense down, stamina, Tsuruno could, Felicia could work, I mean, to be fair, 30% of defense, along with level 1, yeah, I mean, Felicia is gonna work well with any card, like, one of the best debuff, the second best debuff of the game. I feel like Ren in some aspect is better, so yeah. Sana could actually work well with her, because she's gonna give a lot of crit rate to her, which especially is gonna be useful considering that Madokami actually increases her own critical damage. So yeah, aside from that, yeah, I feel this art card test actually work best for it. Now, do you actually need her? Here's the thing, guys. If you don't have main DPS, or if you are really a weak one, then go for it. Absolutely go for it. But you have, but like here in my account situation, which like you have a freaking I1 Omura, an A1 Oriko. Where is Oriko? Lol, she's not even here. Like I don't know how much useful could be, especially because the more you go to, the more you progress through the game, the more you realize your useless, kinda quote-unquote useless main DPS can actually be. Because this thing, aside from dealing a lot of damage, they really don't do that much. Which yeah, it becomes especially limited in the end game because you can only basically use the basic attack when the enemies aren't broken down, which is kind of annoying. Means she basically gonna do nothing until she actually does damage. Contrast with someone like Ren, which is not fully on DPS, but she also can quite disrupt the damage and also can lower the enemy's defense. You see what the problem is. Now, to be fair, Madokami is a bit more complex than the DPSs we got so far, since she's gonna increase everyone's attack and also heal a bit, which again could be especially useful for a sustainless team with Pluvia Madoka, because she's gonna be able to, with Pluvia Madoka's healing plus Madokami's healing, could be really a way to make a fully usable sustainless team on the nightmare mods. So yeah, but aside from that, I don't know much is gonna be convenient to actually put for her, especially because what is Mami is actually gonna run pretty soon, and Chu is like the most ridiculous thing ever. Like, increases all rally speed by 20%. This is ridiculous, guys. And Chu is ridiculous. So yeah. So if you really have a strong DPS or several of them, then I recommend getting Mami, and especially Chu, which is gonna rerun soon, because she really is worth it. Otherwise, just go for it, because she still is a fantastic main DPS, and she's still gonna be very useful, especially in the future. Especially also considering that she's a limited card, which means once their banner is gone, you're gonna have to wait a long time until she actually comes back. She's not gonna become a standard card like the card we got so far. So yeah. Besides, I said that you actually should wait for Mami, and then actually end up pulling for it. Because Madoka is my favorite card, guys. I won't get it so badly. So yeah. Anyway, that's what I think about Madokami. She's truly a fantastic character. Not a must pull, but definitely a nice addition to your account. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to not miss any future Magia Exedra content or any content that I might make. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye and take care.